Casey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Ito Blossoms. Did I say that right in the last one? I never know, because I just say the wrong game. We're back with more random game, I don't know. Anyway. And Heisuke's around, and we're leaving, and we slapped him good last time. That was amazing. I don't know, that last part just really blew my motherfucking mind, because we slapped Heisuke. I mean, that was at the end, and it was like, yeah! And then Sonnen is a crazy bastard, and it was like, no! And I don't know. And now we're gonna have to go kill him, and I don't know if I can handle this. I really don't. Anyway, later that evening, Heisuke and I made our departure from Aizu. We were careful to avoid detection, sneaking out quietly down the forested trail to approach the border between the Aizu and Sendai domains. There, we'd encountered the last person I had expected us to see. Kazama? Ah, a humorous coincidence to find you two here. Kazama! The hell are you doing here? Kazama, do you want to help us defeat Sonnen, who's like a fury, crazy, kidnapped Sen? I'm just saying, I would think, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Kazama's eyes thinned, pursing his lips nonchalantly as he turned to look in the direction of Sendai Castle. It came to my attention that a group of troublesome fakes were attempting passage into the Sendai region, so I took it upon myself to see what the fuss was about. As in, Furies? This must have been Sonnen's doing, no doubt. To think that they had raised enough commotion to alert Kazama was worrying, given that he hadn't interfered with Fury business unless it was serious. Just what was happening in Sendai? The numerous horrifying possibilities came to mind. It's funny that even though he got his sexy Western-style outfit going on, he still has his little, arm warmer things going on. He totally had those. He's like, look, I'm keeping a piece. Keeping a piece of my, old uniform. I suddenly conjured the image of a smug Sonnen, surrounded by a legion of obedient, bloodthirsty Furies. Like on a throne, and like a throne of bloodthirsty Furies, because that's what I'm thinking. Your kind will always find a new low to stoop to, eh? I'm still bound, albeit begrudgingly, to the promise I made to Sen, so acknowledge this token of mercy and listen well. If more fakes are produced, I'll inflict punishment more painful than anything you can imagine. No, you idiot! Stop jumping to conclusions just for 1 minute! Heisuke, calm down. Kazama's not exactly receptive to threats, so watch yourself unless you want to get into a fight. So then, which of you wants to explain? Why are you here, and not with the rest of those Shinsengumi dogs? Whether or not Kazama could be trusted with this information was unclear to me, but Sonnen is your enemy. Therefore, since he had been regularly engaged in correspondence with Sen, I figured he didn't harbor any immediate intentions of doing us harm. Or at the very least, we shared a similar goal: to prevent Sonnen from spreading this terrible affliction to innocent people before it was too late. I took a deep breath. I'm going to take a chance. You see... And so, I plainly recounted all that Heisuke and I discovered in our last encounter with Sonnen. And so, you mean to say that fake kidnapped her? Sorry, bird. I scared my bird. That she's held hostage to that lecherous scum? Explain yourselves. How could you let that happen? I'm useless and he's a fake. I mean, why did you even ask that question? I should execute you here and now for your insolence. Hey, we had no idea it was coming. I mean, we're still reeling from the fact that Sonnen would go so far as to betray us and the Shinsengumi. Also, again, he's a fake and I'm useless. What the fuck did you expect from us, Kazama? Jesus. And he's like, you know what, you're right. I mean, seriously, Kazama. Jesus. You're absolutely certain that this Sonnen is the man behind creating the fakes in Sendai? Yes, we have strong reason to believe so. I'll take you for your word. Without saying goodbye, Kazama turned his back to us, walking in the direction of Sendai. Hey, are you gonna help us? He's like, I'm gonna do this myself. You're useless. True. Wait, where are you going, Kazama? Pfft, what an idiotic question. I'm making my leave for Sendai, where I'll humiliate and torture this leader of the fakes, as well as each of his underlings. Normally, Kazama, I'd be like, don't you touch Son! But in this, it's like, oh my god, wait. Oh my god, you're both assholes. But in this case, Kazama's gonna win, and I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with that, but I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with the fact that I'm okay with that, because Sanan is crazy, and he needs to be taken out. And, you know, if Kazama does it, I won't feel it. I'll be like, you're awful! Thank you! I mean, you know, this is so painful. And then they're all gonna die in the end, and it's like, but then we murdered Son. Oh. Like, I know he was bad and terrible and betrayed us in Saito's route, but I still felt bad when he died. Like, oh, Sonnen, that's what you get. And this is what you get now, too. I don't know. Suddenly, Heisuke perked up, and his face immediately scrunched in concern. Ah, so you've noticed. Not bad for a fake. Well, obviously, I'm not stupid. It'd be impossible to miss. And I'm like, I'm stupid. Well, the fact they smell like blood must mean... Kazama and Heisuke reached for their katanas reflexively, almost in unison. Am I the only one else who's enjoying this? Like, oh! The good guy and the bad guy are on the side of the... together, fighting against the good guy turned bad guy? They're fucking confusing, but I love it. I was unaware of what they were talking about then. Because you're a useless demon! Why, Spacey? Why? You should have started coming into your demon powers, but no, she's like, eh. Her being a demon is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. Because she has no power, nothing. Nothing. Not like super hearing. My super hearing has heard something. No! Everyone else is like, oh, I can smell them miles away, and they're fighting, and then she's like, wait, what's going on? It's like, oh my god, how are... And then the fact, I mean, it's like a slap in the face that Heisuke is like, what? I'm not stupid. Maybe a fake, but I can smell them. And I'm like, I'm a real demon, and I smell nothing. I feel like the Ralph from Simpsons, the Ralphie of fucking demons. I'm a unitard! Like, seriously, that's just how I feel. All right, who's hiding? Show yourselves. We know you're out there. That was, he didn't have a line, but I was giving it to him before he died. Anyway. Without waiting for an answer, Heisuke lunged toward the grass, swiping at the knoll in front of him. Gah! There, he got a line. Ugh. Decisions. How distasteful to stain my sword with the blood of this filth. But allowing them to live would be an unforgivable sin. So be it. Ah! Heisuke and Kazama butchered each of the Furies, one after the other, in cold blood. These are probably assassins sent by Sonnen, aren't they? A likely assumption. More like a cautionary procedure to kill anyone stepping in the vicinity of the Sendai region. What? Just then. Kya, you bastard. One of the Furies, stabbed earlier by Heisuke, had stood back up, attempting a feint attack from behind. Well, you shouldn't scream then. Heisuke, watch out! Behind you! Oh, he's already dead. Yeah, he saw it before you did. Heisuke turned to look over his shoulder, shifting his feet in anticipation of the attack, but the Fury was quicker to the draw, its red eyes thinning ominously. Just then, the crack of a slashed wind cut through the air. Kimigiku? Suddenly, the Fury halted in its tracks. I was going to say Kazama saves Heisuke, but Heisuke wasn't about to let this opportunity slip. Yeah! Oh! The Fury's mouth gurgled with blood. Beautiful. Then its body hit the floor with a dull thud. While I'm no stranger to how talented the swordsmen of the Shinsengumi are, as they say, never count your chickens before they hatch. Please be more careful next time. That voice. Ah, it was Kimigiku. I should have read it in her voice. It was my guess that it was her, and then I wasn't sure. Anyway. Kimigiku, it's you! It's been a while, Spacey. Toto, when Heisuke and I originally left Edo, I'd sent a letter addressed to her through Dr. Masumoto, but a few opportunities to get in contact with her arose following our departure. I was investigating the status of Sendai, the city, when I'd noticed the movements of several Furies heading in this direction. And part of me worried that it could be you, and as luck would have it, I saw you through the brush. It brings my heart warmth to see you safe. I wanted to share in Kimigiku's elation that we were safe, but I worried about something more pressing. Just looking at her induced a crushing feeling of guilt. Kimigiku, I recounted this in greater detail in my letter, but Sen is... I am aware. However, her fate is not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Your responsibility. If I hadn't left the princess's side, none of this would have ever happened. What? No, Kimigiku! Everything's my fault. I'm useless. You're right, you are. Ugh. Anything you may have done would have produced the same result. Know your place, bitch. Kazama delivered a biting critique, one that seemingly struck a nerve with Kimigiku, who gnawed on her lip. Hey, Kazama! There's no need to take it that far. This is why you're not getting laid, because you're a bitch to bitches. I mean... Because you call women bitches. I mean... Sorry, honey. Yeah, I'm going to beat you later for it, Heisuke, don't worry. Your concern is kindly appreciated, Toto. But he's right. As painful as it is to admit, I alone would have been powerless against the forces assembled by Sanin, which by now outnumber us considerably. Kimigiku, but we're all in this together! And they look at me and you're like, I mean, you're all in this together, and I'm just... I don't know why I'm here. Out with it then. Report everything you know of the situation in Sendai to me. That man, Sanin, has somehow corrupted the lords of the domain, and has spread his blood to countless soldiers and criminals sentenced to execution. Thus, he has preyed upon enough vulnerable souls to cultivate an alarmingly large militia, an army even. The numbers are almost double what he possessed while under the order of the Shinsengumi. Dare I say, it may be even 10 times as much. Almost double. Could be 10 times. That's a big fucking difference. He had 100 in the Shinsengumi. He has 200 to 1,000. That's a big fucking... Kimigiku learned to count, girl. 200 to 1,000. That is a big motherfucking difference. Before disappearing, Sanin left us with a vague threat, one I hadn't put too much belief in. His goal was to head north, forging the territory for a kingdom of furies backed by his formidable army. An unwielding and ambitious claim, no doubt. But now, a palpable fear began to set as Kimigiku's report described that his lofty task was within reach. What about Sen? All we know is that he had abducted her. Were you able to get any idea of where she could be? The princess is currently imprisoned in Sendai Castle. Despite my best attempts, the castle is well fortified. Furies as far as the eye can see. There was no chance for me to make a close approach. No! Thankfully, the princess is a pure-blooded demon. Even with his tainted blood, she has yet to show any signs of insanity, but there is no precedent to the harm it may do to her body and mind while we wait. So we'd better get a move on, shouldn't we? His wanton disrespect to a noble, pure-blooded demon violates his existence to a degree that need not worth mentioning. It sickens me. I suppose this Sanin has a death wish, and far be it from me not to oblige him. My current objective is to closely inspect the castle once more. Although it may be highly unlikely, there's a chance I may be able to locate some sort of hidden entrance, or perhaps a way to sneak in. Good point! If we all move in together, we blow our cover. What do you want to do, Spacey? I'm useless. Sendai is crawling with bloodthirsty furies. My only advice is, if you choose to head for there, that you exercise the utmost caution. Heh, no kidding. I know Son, and he's probably got like 2 or 3 traps sitting around every corner. Indeed. Should anything catch my attention, I'll be sure to notify you at once. Until then, farewell. Yeah, send us a letter or like text. Maybe you should just try texting. This is why cell phones are great. Okay, you guys go that way, you go that way, and text if anything bad happens. But guys, remember, put your phones on silent or vibrate, because if you have like your ringtone, they're going to hear you when you're trying to hide. I'm just saying. Kimikuku nodded sternly, her voice bellowing with confidence. Then she leapt from the ground into a tree. She vanished into the brush, lost in the sea of branches and foliage covering the landscape. Kazama shrugged his shoulders, walking on the verge of leaving with an air of pretension. Where are you off to, Kazama? None of your damn business. If we're going to scope out an alternate entrance to Sendai Castle, shouldn't we wait for Kimigiko to return before going ahead? Kazama was expressionless, reacting as though a fly buzzed annoyingly around his ear, rather than to a question I'd passed directly to him. He muttered coolly under his breath. I like how he's kind of given up on trying to make us his wife. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go kill him, and he's like, oh, and by the way, when I'm done, I'm coming for you. He's just given up. He's like, I'm not interested in you anymore. Allow me to share some wisdom with you. If killing Sonnen is truly your aim, then I'd advise waiting until 2 days from now. Why do you say that? In 2 days' time, the moon will reach its zenith point in the sky. Amagiri, as luck would have it, is staging a widespread panic within Sendai, the city. It would be fortuitous for you to take advantage of the distraction, which should make sneaking into the castle simple, even for the likes of you. I was astonished. Kazama, of all people, was standing in front of us with advice, speaking not only directly, but in confidence with regards to Amagiri's plans. Well, why are you telling us and not Kimikiku? Our loss. She exited the conversation so hastily, I barely had time to mention the subject. Our demon lineage is happenstance, and by no means do I intend to collude with every demon I meet. Heed my advice, or don't. The choice is yours. Whatever I have to give, I give. After delivering his cryptic message, Kazama wore a smug expression and melted like a wisp of smoke into the darkness. He's helping us because he doesn't want me to die, because he's still going to try to kidnap me and make him his wife. Everybody's given up on me. Like, Sana doesn't love me, Kazama doesn't love me. I feel very, like, sad in this route. Like, they all loved me before. Now nobody loves me anymore. Son just abandoned me. He could have tried to kidnap me, and Kazama's like, whatever, and like, nobody loves me. Heisuke was trying to leave me. Like, damn. Spacey's rejected. I don't think I'll ever figure out whatever the hell goes on in that head of his. Well, for now, there's no reason for us to doubt Kazama. Something tells me that he'd help us out, if given the opportunity. Man, I don't think you should trust people so much. I mean, hello? Have you forgotten all the crap he's put us through? Of course I haven't, but common enemy. Either way, let's head closer to that nearby town by Sendai. Once the sun's out, it'll be hard for me to get around much. Right. We nodded at one another before running off into the direction which Kazama had just disappeared. June 1868. Still in Chapter 3. We sprinted underneath flickers of moonlight. Soon the glow of dawn broke from the east. Jeez, what a workout! Maybe we should stop to rest soon. Huh? Really? I still have a lot of energy left in me. Don't push yourself. I'm a fairy, so I could run all day. But you don't have a lot of stamina. I'm a demon, asshole. Hey, it's not like that. Amagiri's expected to stage a riot or something in 2 days, right? I don't think resting is such a bad idea. We got time. At least, I think so. Well, in that case, then, sure, I can rest for a bit. Don't be shy. If you're feeling sleepy at all, then go ahead and get some shut-eye. I'll keep watch. I'm fine. I'm not tired at all. Thank you, Heisuke. I sat beneath the trunk of a large tree, nestling into a spot beside its roots against which I leaned my back and promptly passed out. To be honest, my calves and knees were throbbing. In hindsight, it was relatively short-sighted. For whatever reason, we'd taken off, throwing one leg after the other at frantic pace along the rugged, hilly terrain, instead of trying to find like a hotel or something, like a place to stay. Hey, Skate. What is it? Do you, feel confident right now? Confident enough to defeat Sanin? Heisuke's expression froze. Ever since our last encounter with Sanin, Heisuke had assumed a newfound resolve, but tackling fear head-on was a continuous battle. Heisuke sighed and forced a smile, lamenting at a truth he was likely fighting so hard to suppress. It doesn't take much for you to see right through my facade, does it? He squinted timidly, then shut his eyes. The cool morning breeze hummed softly in our ears. Heisuke took a deep breath, exhaling calmly. If you were to ask me right now if I were ready to kill Sanin, then, well, honestly, I wouldn't have anything to tell you. I mean, gee, I still remember meeting him when I first joined the Shinsengumi, back when he used to go by Colonel. I've been turning it over in my mind, though. I got no idea if there's any truth in words like fate or destiny, or if it's all crap, but for some reason, I really do think that I have to be the one to stop him. It's gotta be me. What do you mean? Well, if I never invited Ito to join the Shinsengumi, maybe Sana would have never gone through all the trouble of making himself into a fury. Heisuke, that... I'd wanted to insist and tell him that those events weren't connected, that it wasn't his fault, but... Maybe my father was the one who created this. It's my fault because my father created the serum. Hello, you have no right to judge anyone for blaming themselves, girl. You are like the queen of blaming yourself. He hushed me with his smile, communicating to me in a nonverbal way that I needed to relax. Hey, it's fine. I get it. I know it's not really my fault, but that doesn't mean that it didn't play some part in all this. But it really makes you think, about what really compels someone to go down a path towards good, or a path toward evil. Sanin was always good, and then he hurt himself, and he felt useless, and he was sad, and then it just spiraled out of control. It was his own self-doubt, really. To answer you, no, I'm not very confident, but I'm gonna think long and hard about it, so that by the time I see him next, whatever's coming out will be straight from the heart. If all I have to go by is someone else's advice, then I'm doomed as all hell anyways. It's gonna go up there, I loved you, Sanin, and now I'm gonna kill you. Heisuke showed a surprising amount of patience and maturity in his answer, giving me the impression that this question had occurred to him already. What I had come to respect, however, was that he was choosing to acknowledge his weaknesses, resolving to search within himself for a deeper answer. As his friend, I considered the best way to respond was to say, "Don't take this too much to heart. No, let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand." Offering an assuring sentiment was how I usually helped Heisuke in the times of need, but this time, doing so felt like an easy way out, and instead, I wanted to show him how I felt, kiss him. Without another word, I stood up from my little nook beside the tree trunk and walked to Heisuke. What's the matter? I looked him in the eye and took a seat beside him. He stared at me quietly, and I tenderly held his hand. Huh? It's not like we've not held your hand a few times before. He's like, what? Did you forget what happened, like, months ago? Jesus, I'll forget. Heisuke's mouth was agape in confusion. I don't mean to spring this on you. I wanted to let you know I'm here, but I had a difficult time thinking of the best way to say it. So, you... Oh, I'm sorry. Does this upset you? Grabbing his hand all of a sudden may have been an unwanted intrusion. Okay, it's like they forgot. It's like they forgot in the other one that he held their hand. It was like, you're mine. Like, and he basically claimed us as his, and now all of a sudden it's like, wait, oh my God, you're touching me? Did we forget what happened? Was it like, well, that was just after the heat of battle, so nobody meant the hand holding and the claiming you as my woman? I mean, he literally did. He basically said we were his, and it was like, oh, so much more romance than in Saito's route, where he basically, like, barely touched our hand while he was handing our Kodachi to us. He was like, giving this back to you. And you're like, oh, he just professed his undying love. Jesus. I became hot with embarrassment, hastily trying to slip my fingers from his hand when... Oh, no! I don't mind at all. I was just surprised is all. Heisuke promptly reached back for the hand that I so eagerly pulled. Look at that devilish look on his face. He's like, yeah. Thanks, Spacey. He's like, thanks, Spacey. Funny to think that hands, calloused from years of arduous training, could be so gentle to the touch. After resting momentarily, Heisuke and I regathered ourselves and embarked up the trail to an elevated, scenic cliff from which all of Sendai could be seen. Sunlight sparkled amidst a cluster of clouds. Well, how's your body feel? Oh, that's me. How's your body feeling, Heisuke? Huh? This is nothing. Thanks for checking in, though. Hold. Sorry. Allergy pill time. And then my bird's looking at me because he sees something in my hand. He's like, oh, are you going to share that?
No, it's drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? You can't have it. It's not for you.
Anyway. Huh? This is nothing. Thanks for checking in, though. I think I read that. I see. Part of me suspected that Heisuke was only telling me so in the hopes I wouldn't press him more. However, Heisuke genuinely seemed to be in positive spirits, and his complexion was healthy. He directed his gaze toward the city, which had been eerily quiet from our vantage point. He's like, look, if I'm in the shade, it might not be as bad. So, that's Sendai, right? Man, is it me or does it sound like a ghost town down there? It's practically noon. And talk about a late start. As Heisuke noted, it was troubling to focus on how silent it felt from the city's outskirts, especially in the middle of broad daylight. Not a peep escaped the city, and through squinted eyes, I couldn't make out a single person walking anywhere near the city's interwoven streets. I wonder if people have locked themselves up in their houses to hide from the Furies, or if... No. Do you think all of the people down there might have become... A rather elementary grasp of arithmetic you got there. Contrary to your ill-informed assumption, there is no possible way that every single townsperson in Sendai could have been turned so quickly. Okay, Kazama. I wasn't sure. We'll go back. A rather elementary grasp of arithmetic you've got there. Contrary to your ill-informed assumptions, there's no possible way that every single townsperson in Sendai could have been turned so quickly. It wasn't quite his voice. I don't know. Kazama! I sincerely hope you enjoyed your leisurely stroll. Here I was, beginning to think that you ran off with your tails tucked underneath your asses. Hey! We ain't come this far. We aren't going anywhere. Besides, where have you been, huh? He's like, I killed everyone. You're the one with the big mouth. Surprised you haven't gotten rid of all those Furies yet. Hadn't I told you? I ordered Amagiri to stage a riot, giving me ample time to infiltrate the castle. Or don't tell me that you're so moronic that you've already forgotten what I informed you of yesterday. You mean last night? You bastard! The hell did you just say? Hey, Skate, calm down. You too, Kazama. Please, everyone, calm your tempers. Listen, bitches! This is no time for us to be bickering. All of us are here for the same reasons right now. At this point, we're practically allies. Allies? Don't flatter yourselves. How delusional do you think me as meek as you and require help to think me as meek as you? Especially you, little puppy. I thought you were talking about me, because he's more useful than I am. Need I remind you of that time in Edo? Your limb's sword was no better at killing those murderous fakes than it was collecting dust in that scabbard. Would it do me any good to place my faith in you to face your former ally when the time comes? Well, Kazama's comment was aimed at Heisuke where it hurt, rendering him silent for a moment. You're right. Back then I didn't stand a chance. Even so, Sana was the colonel of the Shinsengumi and the head of the Fury Corps. He's no slouch. If anyone's gotta stop him, it's gotta be us. Kazama stared intently at Heisuke for a brief moment, inspecting him with a look of scrutiny, and then starts laughing because he's like, you maybe, but her? Seriously? Soon his expression relaxed. Same as ever, aren't you, boy? There's no training exercise. Your will isn't as sharp as your sword. Well, tell me something I don't know. Jeez! I suppose it's to be expected, though, isn't it? What else do you have to gain for you? What else do you have going for you? I'm like, what? Okay, Spacey needs to learn to read. I'm making fun of the Spacey in the game for being useless, and I'm just illiterate. I don't know. The hell did you say? How about looking in a mirror, pal? All you got is a big, sharp sword. Hey, Skate, stop being so sensitive. You're right. No need for me to get so worked up all the time. Especially when this jerk's just spouting off his nonsense from his ivory tower, right? How dare you! You insolent! Keeping them from arguing petulantly was becoming a draining task, but it's true, goddammit! You're rotten straight down to the bone. Everyone who knows you is just afraid of you. They don't respect you. Shut your mouth, you little rat, or I'll snap it shut for you. I command the highest level of respect from each and every single member of my clan. Oh yeah? You sure about that, tough guy? Sounds to me like you make Amagiri do all the dirty work while you stand off to the side and watch the show. Their banter was immature at best. They traded verbal blows with the wit and candor of children. I know, this is great, I love it. All I could do was watch. The background music is like the happy, cheerful, like circus music. Imagining the most fitting word to describe their irritating relationship. Was the word frenemy? Ah! Frenemy didn't exist then, but it's so, it is fitting, but it's like, I love it. I love it when they say shit and you're like, that didn't exist back then, but okay. It sounded so absurd as it came to mind, and yet it was so perfect. So perfect my voice squeaked with laughter. Hey, Spacey! What the heck is so funny? Sorry, I really didn't mean to laugh. Both of you were becoming so frustrated, trading insults back and forth that it looks so funny. No, it wasn't. Was not. All of it was so hilarious to me that I could no longer hold it in, and suddenly I burst into hearty laughter. Look at Haysuke, he's adorable. Hey, what's so funny? Jeez. Haysuke eked a smile, forcing himself not to laugh. Kazama's like, the fuck? All of this puzzles me. Why are you beginning to laugh as well? I don't know either. All of it so... Damn it, I can't hold it in any longer. This conversation is over. I've lost the desire. By all means, choke on your laughter and die. And it just makes me want to, like, they're laughing hysterically and I'm reading this. Choke on your laughter and die. You know they're going to laugh harder at that. For so long, Kazama was our most hated adversary. As the leader of a demon clan, he'd opposed the Shinsengumi on numerous occasions, even going so far as to slaughter some of our closest allies. Yet here we are, exchanging jokes at one another's expense. Kazama, who'd normally created obstacles for us at every conceivable turn, was now aiding us in our quest to defeat Sonnen. And we're saying that, but we're laughing on the end. We're like, that's a horrible thing to be thinking. We're like, he murdered so many people, but this is... Well, it just brought the mood down a little. Such a peculiar and unexpected position to be in. It's adorable. I love it. I love the Kazama look, like, the fuck? Well, now that we made it to Sendai, guess we should make our way for the castle. Dispose of your life as you wish, but you'd better see to it no harm comes to her. I need not remind you how valuable she is to me. Give it a rest, will ya? There's no chance in hell that I'd let anything happen to her. All right, let's go, Spacey. This guy's just wasting our time. Oh, okay. I skipped after Haysuke, and I couldn't help my lips from curling into a tight smile. At last, we had reached our destination, and it was time for us to confront Sonnen once and for all. It hasn't been 2 days, though. What? One more, at least till tomorrow, right? We're like, no, we're just gonna go now, even though, oh wait. Despite my better instincts, I'd hoped that we could somehow reach a non-violent resolution. A naive wish, but my one wish nonetheless. If there were no other options, if it truly came down to a battle of life or death, then battle we must, and Sonnen must die. Oh. I embraced this hopeful sentiment, keeping my head pointed straight ahead of me as we descended down the mountain path. To certain death. Well, you know Sonnen's gonna die, because I mean, like... At least he's gonna fight to the death, as opposed to he's like, I betrayed them, and then gets shot by a silver bullet, and you're like, well, that just sucked. I mean, I know he betrayed them, but like, damn, ouch. He stood a better chance on this path, is all I'm saying. Our arrival in Sendai was greeted with a foreboding silence, the sound of wind hissing into empty corners. The city was unusually calm, distinctly lacking any sign of townspeople or activity for miles. It was, by all normal accounts, a perfectly bright and unassuming afternoon. One could hear a pin drop in the distance, as the only other sound was the rattle of wind against the roads. This served to our advantage, allowing us to roam with no immediate fear of detection. It gave pause to think that the city was renowned for being the Tohoku region's most populated area. Tohoku. Tohoku region. Tohoku. Tohoku. Nightfall was doubly disconcerting, as the darkness only amplified how unsettling the dead silence was. No trace of life caught our attention. Not a single voice, nor a single light flickering in the lined arrangement of houses adjacent to the street. It disturbed me to think that the city owed its lifelessness to Sana and his vile band of Furies. Sure is quiet. You could say that again. I hope everyone's just locked up indoors, but Sana envisioned a Fury kingdom, one that required the sacrifice of hundreds of innocent people. Were we seeing the fruits of his vision firsthand? We'd stumbled into the main road, and the only sound we'd heard were the distant clap of our echoing footsteps. Walk quieter! If I hadn't known any better, I would have assumed that every single resident of the city had died. Just then, huh? I felt a spooky presence behind me, as if an apparition brushed against the back of my knees. The feeling of scream really loud. It was just a cat. The feeling of being watched was palpable, and suddenly my feet felt rooted to the ground. It was a fear with which I had become all too familiar. Heisuke became privy to my nervous energy. Reflexively, he grabbed a hold of his sword. Spacey, hide behind me! Heisuke's scream alarmed me, and I heard the metallic screech of his sword leave its scabbard. Oh. Blood! Blood! Give me... Two pairs of voracious red eyes spotted us, glaring at us from across a dimly lit pathway. Blood! Give me blood! Damn. There was nowhere to turn, and the Furies zealously reached for their swords before lunging at us. Take that, you fools! Avast me, hearties! I mean, because, he's wearing a pirate outfit, but... Heisuke swatted them back coolly, narrowly avoiding their aggressive approaches with well-timed footwork. After ducking to dodge an incoming strike, Heisuke whipped his sword around and sliced its sharp edge across the chest of his unguarded opponent. Heisuke, no! Injuring a Fury and opening its flesh will only attract more Furies with the scent of its blood. Heisuke suddenly paused, stepping backwards. What were you supposed to do? His eyes darted behind him, seeking an opportunity to run. Spacey, this way! Heisuke grabbed my wrist and whisked me away. Let them feed on my blood, and then I will own them. Wouldn't that be amazing? We'd be like, wait, they fed on my blood, so they do as... Sonnen, I just took over your army. Spilling blood was the surest way to draw on the unstoppable ire of the Furies lurking within the shadows. Yeah, but then they're going to go frenzied over their dead-bodied friends, and then, somebody get some gunpowder and blow them up. Heisuke led me into a tight, narrow alleyway, and we shimmied into the other side, passing through what looked to be an abandoned home in our escape. Heisuke and I hid quietly in areas such as these, desperately holding our breaths to avoid detection. Are they gone? Yeah, I think so. See, tonight's the night that Amagiri's supposed to distract all the Furies and get them away from the castle, right? According to Kazama, yes. Because we spent all motherfucking day I don't know. I think we've still got some time before the moon reaches its zenith. Sendai Castle was some distance away, and I wanted to err on the side of caution. As I played the scenario out in my head... Oh, great, here we go. Suddenly, Heisuke dropped to his knees, clutching madly at his abdomen in an abrupt outburst. Heisuke! Again, this is very inconvenient. Damn it! Just doesn't quit, does it? I give him blood. Are we already in chapter 4? I guess we are. I reached for the Kodachi on my hip. I'm getting tired of this, motherfucker. I braced myself, swiftly sliding the sharp blade against the surface of my skin to split my wrist open. I mean, it's every few days, or it could be every week. It's not every day, but still. Heisuke! No words were needed. By now, Heisuke had become intimately familiar with this process, and I stuck out my bloodied wrist. And we get the same CG with just a different background. We've got, like, they could just change up a little bit, but they're like, nah. He hurriedly put the open wound to his drooling mouth. Ugh, gross. I felt the sting of his eager tongue, swiftly tracing circles in varying speeds. Somehow, I'd become in sync with the rhythm of his breathing. Now the pinching sensation of blood entering his mouth made me shiver from head to toe. It's like she gets off on it. She likes it. Thanks. I've already told you. There's no need to thank me. Strangely enough, this ritual had become a source of comfort. To think that I played some role in maintaining Heisuke's sanity was enough to satisfy me. In a way, the dull ache felt by the suckle of my wound was enticing. Something I began to crave myself. Well, see, she is really into it. My blood is yours to take, whenever you need it. As long as you never tire of it, it's yours. Forever. That's so creepy romantic. Feeling any better? I guess. Well, your skin's a lot less pale than earlier, at least. Although his face still looked as though most of the color had left it. You have no idea how happy I am to see you okay. Earlier you were writhing in so much pain, I'd seriously begun to think that you might not make it out of this one. Heisuke glanced at me pensively. If it weren't for you, I would have died a long time ago. Every time, you're right by my side, keeping me safe. What? It's not like that at all. We just admitted it pretty much is. Trust me, I didn't do anything special. Most people wouldn't slice open their wrists for their, lover to drink their blood because he's a demon pyre. What? Come on, take some credit for once. You saved my skin on multiple occasions. Jeez, even back before I became a fury. Heisuke plopped to sit on the floor beside me, crossing his arms over his knees as he spoke. Our shoulders nearly brushed together, which made my heart race slightly. We basked in this moment together quietly. There's something I've been thinking over recently. I've been wondering what use there is in living if I can't go 5 minutes without sucking on someone's blood like a monster, Or else I'd die. What? You're doing what you can to survive. You're no monster. You're no monster, Heisuke. Before any of this, before the water of life or even afterwards, you've always been Heisuke. So please, don't tear yourself down like that. I committed myself to being frank with Heisuke. He scrunched his nose, offering no immediate response. Instead, he smiled peacefully. Full romance points. I had a feeling you'd say something like that. But I am a monster. I'm really no different from any of the Fury Corps. Hell, anyone that found us just a little bit earlier. But to my credit, there is something I got they don't. And what's that, me? Heisuke suddenly locked his eyes with mine. For the first time in a long while, I sensed no hint of doubt behind them, and they pierced me so intensely it felt as though I'd been shot in the heart. What was Heisuke talking about? My heart began to race, gradually, pounding inside my chest, when Heisuke whispered coolly to me, I've got you, Spacey. You stuck by me through thick and thin, all this time. He flashed a wide, kind-hearted grin. His words replayed endlessly in my head, bestowing a saccharine warmth on my heart. Me? Oh my god. It's like there's something. I'd suddenly become so overcome with feelings of affection that I struggled to believe this was real. It was as if I'd been dropped into a dream, almost needing to pinch myself in order to prove otherwise. It's like, you've known that you've loved him for you, and my god, you're both clueless! So, you like having me around? Heisuke? Yeah, of course. Do you need me? Without a doubt. In the same way that Furies can't live without drinking blood, Heisuke rested his chin upon his hand, carefully thinking of what words to choose. Just fucking kiss her, Jesus. I could practically feel his cool breath tickle my cheek when he spoke, and I took solace knowing that this moment mattered to him as much as it did to me. He looked down, clasping my hand tightly with his. I can't live without you. Oh. Only in games do people say that to you. His hand trembled anxiously. Truth is, I'm terrified to think that there'll come a day when I'm no when I'll no longer hear the sound of your voice. So, maybe it'd be better for you to find someone you deserve. A man who can offer you a future outside all of this. But even so, I'm haunted by the notion that I could lose you someday. So please, don't ever leave me, okay? Oh! Ever since Heisuke drank the water of life. No, before that, Heisuke had been in constant conflict with negative thoughts festering inside of him. For so long, he'd kept them buried underneath this veneer of well-meaning positivity. But the truth was, he was terrified of admitting that one day he would pass, leaving me to wander the remains of my life without his company. The remainder of my life, yeah. Perhaps this is why he'd been so reluctant in sharing his feelings with me. Somehow, he had managed to conquer the negativity inside of him, and all of a sudden, I felt complete knowing he trusted me enough to confide in me. My name felt safe in his mouth. I'd finally heard what I'd only dreamt of for years. With a strong resolution, I gripped his hand. Oh God, girl. I lost myself in the warm, colorful sea of his gorgeous eyes, letting myself imagine that I was floating in a peaceful drift upon his irises. Heisuke's body tensed nervously in surprise, but he suddenly drew closer to my face. Oh, girl, here we go. Words became unnecessary. Oh, yay! They show this in the intro, but still, when you get to it, you're like, yay, finally! I knew it was coming, but when our lips met, I could feel the tingle all the way down to the base of my spine, a sensation that eclipsed what mere words could convey. We accessed an unseen part of one another. Had anyone else in my entire life ever loved me as much as he did? No. Would my lips be able to reach his heart in the same way that his so effortlessly coaxed mine? I was the sky, and he was the stars, his shining touch reaching every surface of my sun-kissed skin. Together, we were becoming one. That is, like, beautiful, but it's so, like... seriously, like, I'm the sky, he's the star, sun-kissed skin, moonlight beaming off our flat... Like, I'm just like, could you put any more fucking analogies into one goddamn sentence? But it's still beautiful. His arms melted into the small of my back. I was inexplicably drawn to him, craving more and more of his touch with each passing moment. Oh, girl, I mean, now's the time. You can hold me closer. It's okay. I'm here. I'll always love you, Heisuke. It's so adorable. He gazed at me on the verge of tears. Oh. We were uncertain when exactly, if at all, his mind would lose its touch with reality. For all we knew, it was tomorrow, and his body would crumble to ash like the burned tip of an incense candle. I savored his kiss, knowing it very well could have been our last ever. I became privy to the overriding fear of solitude that, for so long, had gripped Heisuke. But from this day forth, he no longer had to fear. My heart belonged to him, no matter what, and I vowed to myself that I would never leave him. The moment our lips finally parted, I felt so depressed. I held him close to my body, soaking in every bit of his warmth. Spacey just blew it. I nestled into his neck, letting him know that he no longer needed to be afraid. Whatever the future had in store for us, I wanted to cherish this moment, freezing it in our minds amber. This is so adorable, guys. So cute. After ensuring that we were safe to come out, Heisuke and I resumed our sneaking around Sendai. Beside the front gates of Sendai Castle, Heisuke and I crept behind bushes. Now we wait. Our eyes focused on the Sendai warriors, patrolling back and forth around the gated perimeter. Looks like they got a lot of eyes out here. What should we do? Let's rule out doing a straightforward charge. Might be a little bit too reckless. Sanen's the type to lure you into a false sense of security, though. No doubt taking the side entrance is even riskier than going through the front door. I wonder where Kimigiku's at. I remember her telling us that she checked the castle for any hidden entrances. She's like, psh. So, Both of us became startled by the sound of footsteps approaching from a short distance away. Oh no, had we been caught by a fury? It's Kimigiku or Kazama. I shuffled my eyes back and forth, nervously searching for the source of the footsteps, and I nearly screamed. Ah, fuck! over. Thank you. I love it. You're so pretty and you're such a dick. But notice he shows up and you're like, fuck, this should have been okay. No! Oh, why are you hot? The guests of the hour have finally arrived. How naughty of you to have kept me waiting. Sonnen! Here, I grew concerned that one of you would have gotten cold feet and fled for the hills. How I relished the thought of being surprised. Quite bold of you to show, Heisuke. Bolder than I thought. Sonnen was almost unrecognizable. He was clothed in a Western uniform, but there was something familiar about his expression, as if he had preserved an earlier part of himself, like Heisuke had said, that lured us into a sense of security. This familiarity, I soon realized, was part of his cunning, sadistic self, and my hair stood thinking that we had foolishly wandered into one of his traps. So, like, in his path, is he going to be, like, redeemed? Like, okay, because, like, in, like, Yamazaki's, right, he's not dead. We saved him. Great. So, in, like, Sonnen's, is he not going to betray everybody and be evil? We're going to be like, we made him dead. Because that just makes me feel even worse. Like, it really does. It's like, oh, we destroy everyone. Again, because we don't have a man harem. Or is he going to be, like, evil and we're going to be evil, too? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, it would be actually kind of nice if, like, they change slightly depending on, like, they do it, like, the girl, like, in Color X Malice, Spacey is always, like, a little bit different, but it'd be so amazing. Like, we're with Sonnen and you're like, yeah, let's kill everyone! Yeah, let's be evil! Instead of always being like, no, we have to be right and just, nah, let's be evil and kick some ass. Just once. Just be a fucking asshole. Can we have a game like, is there a game like that? I want the game where, like, the heroine is, like, the motherfucking, like, the evil. Be great. I must say, I'm rather impressed. I hadn't thought you bold enough to bring Yukimura along as well. If it were just the two of us, Toto, I assure you that your chances of surviving would be slim to none. A delicious prospect indeed. Asking Yukimura to serve as a witness to your death seems cruel, does it not? Whatever you say, pal. She's not here for your amusement. She's here with me. Gotta say, Sonnen, not surprised to see your... surprised you've kicked your feet up at Sendai Castle like you own the place. Not too shabby, even for you. You jest, but it's mine in all but name. Take it in. This is where my new kingdom shall be built. Kingdom? Sonnen, is it truly your wish to create this Fury Kingdom? No, I just said that. Now I'm bored. I'm gonna go knit. Sonnen gestured toward Sendai Castle with his chin, which had been surrounded by a visible layer of what appeared to be a poisonous miasma. The same eerie sensation I felt sneaking through the deserted city of Sendai came flooding back to me. Had Sonnen planned to surround the entirety of the country in this toxic fog? Was corrupting the whole of a town or a domain not enough to him? This chilling thought made my spine tingle. Yeah, whoa, okay, what? All of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a poisonous fog. Where did that come from? So, Sonnen, what's your role in all this? You think you'd be a good king? Doesn't suit you too well. How appropriate of you to notice. As I've already mentioned, the leader of this kingdom will be the princess. What? Sen would never agree to such a thing. 'Tis only a matter of time, my dear. I've been feeding her my blood in daily increments, slowly bedding her into her true potential. Whoa! When you say it like that, it sounds rapey, Sonnen. Blood in daily increments, slowly bedding her into... And Heisuke's like, dude, and you're like, that sounds rapey, Sonnen. I can't. Not be like, I'm force feeding her blood. That's kind of rapey, but the bedding part just sounds even. Sonnen, the fuck, dude. Where's Kazama? Kazama, can we just, I hate to kill Sonnen, but I think this is for your own good, sweet cheeks. You're nuts! There's just no convincing you to let it go, is there? Even if I ask nicely. You take me for quite the fool, don't you? Heisuke no longer intended to mince words, drawing his sword from its sheath with impunity. Alright, your loss. Guess that means I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. The smug grin on Sonnen's face suddenly disappeared, and he turned to face the ground somberly. Toto, I cherished you more than anyone else. You were a brother to me, above all. We were very similar, you and I. We served in the same unit, drank the same serum, and learned to navigate the intricacies of life as a Fury together. I wondered to myself what caused such a significant rift in our friendship. Sonen's eyes thinned silently, and he took a timid step forward. Timid. Don't let your guard down. His movements reminded me of a snake, gradually slithering toward its weakened prey. We were kindred spirits, alike in more ways than you could fathom. Why, oh, why did you have to change? I'm pretty sure you're the one that changed, but the glow of Sonen's red eyes unsettled me, staring into the depths of my soul with a sudden glare. Is it her? Is all of this Yukimura's doing? She's led you astray, my friend, manipulating you into a path of self-destruction, falsely leading you with emotion rather than reason. And you kidnapped a demon princess, who, by the way, is stronger than us. You probably should have kidnapped us and you would have succeeded in your mission by now, but I guess because she's a princess and I'm not. Hey, wait, I am too, aren't I? I don't know. Ken, why? Why am I so useless? He's like, I'm gonna go for the girl that's harder to break than the easy fucking derp one over here. The only one who changed is you, Keisuke Sonen. It's true. Heisuke screamed bitterly at his old friend. It's like Heisuke and Keisuke. Keisuke. Kicking the floor at the moment the words escaped his mouth. Sonen left his head exposed, unfazed by Heisuke's reaction, even as the latter came barreling towards him with a sword in hand. Even as a Fury, when he's like in fighting stance and fighting face, he's so fucking... Why is he so pretty? Heisuke swung his sword downwards, only to be thwarted by the flick of Sonen's wrist, deflecting the attack. I've been practicing our fencing, have we? An amateur attempt, no doubt, but decent for you, I suppose. Sonen took pleasure in taunting Heisuke. Just then, a flurry of voices and panic uproared from another side of the castle gate. From within the castle, I heard the chaotic scramble of Furies racing to and fro. Huh? Amagiri. Another petulant outburst from the princess, isn't it? So be it. Sonen's eyes and hair returned to their original color, and he calmly put distance between us. Are you running away from me, Sonen? Until later, my friend. I have more pressing matters to attend to, so forgive me for not killing you sooner. Sonen spun on his heel and turned around. With the kick of his foot, he leapt high into the air, jumping over the castle gates to safety. The hell just happened? I don't know, but Sonen just mentioned the princess, didn't he? So that must mean... Hopefully it was an indication that Sen was safe, or at the very least, alive. We gotta follow him. There's no telling what he'll do while we got him cornered. Okay, you leap over and I'll try to climb because I'm useless. If we leave him unchecked, there's no limit to what tricks he'll pull on us. I'm afraid you're right. Heisuke and I were hidden a short distance away from the castle gate, watching the waves of Furies coming and going from its fortified interior. After what seemed like an eternity, all of the Furies seemed to have left the castle and entered the city. Was this the riot that Kazama talked about? Alright, I think it's our cue to sneak in. Okay. Perhaps Kazama hadn't fed us false information, and this truly was our chance to enter the castle. This feeling of relief was fleeting, however. Sonen possessed such an unbreakable calm, leaving me to wonder what he had up his sleeve. He's just cocky. He's probably got tricks up his sleeve, but I think he's also just cocky. I can only imagine, despite how many Furies had left the castle, how many still remained within. There was no telling at what point Heisuke could potentially exhaust all of his remaining lifespan, attempting to kill them in battle. Just then... Who's there? Heisuke shifted his feet to get into an offensive stance, startled by a rustle from a nearby tree. Kimikiku. To our surprise, it was... Apologies if I frightened you, and the two of you made it. Kimikiku! Said by a tree. She just likes to be in trees. So if you're here, does that mean you found a secret entrance? Yes, but sneaking around the scattering of Furies proved even more difficult than I'd imagined. Please, come this way. Kimigiko is leading us to a dried up well. That's a door. But we're going to wrap this part up here because I don't know what's going to happen and how long we could potentially go. And since we're kind of at time-ish, we're just going to stop here. So anyway, yeah. So I'm going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time, and we'll probably, we've got at least 2 more parts because we got to finish this, and then we still have to do all the bad endings. So at least 2 more, but maybe 3. I'm not sure because as soon as I'm like, yeah, it'll probably be like another part or 2. It's like 4 more parts. I don't know. So, but yeah. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.